The other aspect is this. It requires a bit of an approach to it to see what this is about. Let's take an actor, for example. Let's say an actor who has an audition right in the evening, and that actor wakes up in the morning and feels full of anxiety. Now, if that actor feels anxiety, they're going to get up and they're going to go into the story and they may say, oh, I don't know my lines well enough, I don't know my part well enough. Hang on, maybe I'm just not a good actor, maybe I'm not cut out to be an actor, or maybe this role is not for me, right? And all these stories will eventually cause the actor to go into behaviors of either trying harder all through the day, learning their lines over and over again, and trying whatever they do to feel better about this anxiety they're feeling. By the time they arrive at the audition, they will already be in somewhat of a state. They won't be very present. They will try really hard and have some anxiousness during their audition. And what we can be sure about is they will leave that audition feeling that they were not at their best, that they missed the mark. See, this is also similar to an experience that I've had myself in doing the presentations. When I go on the road, I'm on the road for about 2 weeks, I'm off for 2 weeks. I'm on the road for 2 weeks, I'm off for 2 weeks. When I'm on the road, I'm around people, I'm around a lot of people in airports, I'm doing presentations with groups, I'm doing one-on-ones with people. There's people everywhere. And so I'm very outwardly mobile, right? And then I come back to my apartment and I spend 2 weeks. And for that time, 90% of the time, I'm alone. I'm by myself. And I enjoy my own company. But I become, you could say, quite inwardly mobile. What happened initially, and I didn't quite understand this when it began to unfold, was that about 3 days before I was about to go on the road again, I would start to feel quite uncomfortable. A sense of anxiety would arise. And I would start to tell the story too and say, oh, maybe I'm not ready to do the presentations again. What if I don't know this material well enough? Maybe I should listen to some talks from the past that I've recorded. You know, maybe people don't want to hear this, what I'm saying. You know, I would tell all these stories, and then by the time I got to the first presentation, it took me a while to get present and grounded enough just to get in there and enjoy what I was, you know, doing. And then one day, I realized what was going on. It's the same situation as the actor. Acting is about emotion, right? It really is about the emotional content of the part being played. An actor that cannot contain the emotional part is not a good actor. They tend to do a lot of physical activity and facial expressions and over-dramatization of their voice to try and communicate what they should be communicating emotionally. A good example of this is, for example, someone who plays the part of the mafia boss. If they play that part really well, they can sit behind a desk in a study and just look at you, and they're not moving, they're not giving off facial expressions. But when you look at them, you will have no doubt that if you cross this person in the wrong way, they will take you out. You will know that you won't mess with this person, right? You will have respect for this person because there will be a fierceness about them, not from their movement, not even from their expression, but just from their presence in the room. They will embody that emotional component of power, of control, right? Whatever it is they're supposed to embody. It's the same as the story we're telling about the actor who wakes up in the morning feeling anxiety. If they got up in the morning and connected with that anxiety and said, hang on a moment, this anxiety is valid. This anxiety is actually my daily bread. Being with this anxiety without placing a condition on it, finding out where I'm feeling it in my body and placing my attention on it and allowing that feeling to be there without placing any conditions upon it, just listening to it and watching it as I go through my day and attend to my regular activities. By staying with that all the way to the moment of the audition, what that actor would find is they would arrive at that audition right in their body, centered, grounded, right with a powerful emotional content. Then as they went through the audition, they would have a powerful emotional content. But not only that, they would find that in the moment of the audition, they would come up with pieces that they would add to their audition that would just arrive in the moment, that would be what they would require to really enhance their performance. And they would have a great sense of presence there. And at the end of the audition, regardless of the outcome, they would feel that they had given their best, right? This is the same as when I approach presentations. When I get that feeling of anxiety 3 or 4 days before I'm about to leave, sometimes 2 days, I realize that that is my bread. That is the bread being fed to me by the universe to begin enlivening my state, so that by the time I arrive at the first presentation, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to have fun, I'm fully in my body, and that my presentations have an emotional component to it. Also, because I stay with that emotional signature and I allow it to feed me, I don't try and change it. What happens is I don't need a pen and a paper, I don't need notes in front of me when I give my presentation, because I receive what I require in the moment as I go from moment to moment through that presentation. And I will get to the end of that presentation knowing it had been full and I had been on the mark and given my best.